We've already talked about several ways to save the transparency into the alpha channel. However, it wouldn't be life if there weren't a few gotchas that get in the way. Many of you have probably already discovered that layer styles are tremendously effective for doing things like glows, drop shadows, bevels, embossing. Problem with layer styles, though, is that they don't load into the transparency data. So when you go to create an alpha channel for a layer that has styles applied, it doesn't work. Watch this. This logo clearly has a glow around it. And so I command click on the layer thumbnail or control click on a PC, switch to channels and say save selection as channel. Well, when we look at that alpha channel, we notice very clearly that there is no glow around the outside. Well, this doesn't work very well. So what we need to do is this. We need to make a new layer, link those layers together, and say Option Merge Linked. That will flatten a copy to this linked layer. Left behind, you still have the original layer. The layer style's live and you can make changes. But it's important that we create a merged copy. We could turn the visibility off. The important thing here is when we command click on this thumbnail, you'll notice that the marching ants actually do see and recognize the glow. So when we create our channel, we actually get a good, proper alpha channel. And the glow is in there. To make matters worse, though, there's a couple of other things that can go wrong here. First off, I have two alpha channels. That'll confuse your video editing system. Only have one alpha channel in your document. More than one will cause problems. If you look closely, I have a little problem here. I have some ghosting in my alpha channel. Don't be afraid to grab a paintbrush and click right on the alpha channel and paint in some of that data. In this case, I just need to paint with a very large white brush and quickly touch that up. That way I'm getting it so that the alpha channel does not have any stray transparency that I did not plan for. I'm just holding down the space bar, which gives me my hand tool to move, and then painting with white. Now, I'd like to think we're done, except there's a couple of issues that can still cause us problems. And that's this. Some editing systems do not understand pre-multiplied alpha channels. That means that the color, in this case the glow, is being mixed with a white background. Where this glow starts to fade off, we have white. And in the transparency of the document, the white and red become mixed. In this case, my glow, which is supposed to be red, will have light pink edges, which is not desired. The solution, while a little convoluted, is actually pretty simple. In your background layer, simply place the color of your glow. If it's supposed to be a red glow, fill the background layer with red. If it's a black shadow, a white glow, etc., if you have a soft edge, place a solid color that matches that glow or soft edge behind the object. Now, when we save this document out with the alpha channel attached, it will properly embed the transparency. I name the file. I choose a format, such as PICT or Targa. And I save the file, making sure that the alpha channels box is checked. That will preserve the transparency. Now, you think this looked relatively confusing. You say, but what happens if there's more layers? This is going to get really hard. It's not. Let's open up a multi-layered document and I'll show you how the same technique can be used to preserve a perfect alpha channel. In this case, I've opened up a lower third document. It's going to be a name bar for a video we're working on. And I have elements that are supposed to be here and elements that are there just to help me build the lower third. For example, the red line around the outside is showing me my title safe area. all of my text needs to fall within inside that line. We also have logos and other things in here. The background, in this case a still of the Grand Canyon, is just there for representative purposes. So I can get an idea if the colors and fonts I've chosen will look good when they're keyed over my video. It's just there for planning's sake. The red lines and the photo are not going to become part of my finished document. So here's what we have to do. Turn off anything that doesn't belong in the final document. In this case, my placement image and my safe title overlay. We're going to want to preserve all of our layers in case we have to make a change. But we're going to need to make an alpha channel that has perfect transparency for our video editing system or motion graphics package. Here's how you do it. Same technique as before. Make a new layer, hold down the Option key, and from the Layer Palette submenu, choose Merge Visible, or Shift-Command-E on a Mac, or Shift-Control-E on a PC. This will merge everything to a flattened target layer. You'll notice that the colors got much more intense here. This is because the background in the lower third doubled up. We're only going to use this to create the selection, not to store the image data. Command-click on its thumbnail or Control-click on the thumbnail to load it as a selection. You see the marching ants. They only show you things that are selected more than 50%. The area to the right of this logo here will actually be selected. The marching ants just don't show that. I turn the visibility of that layer off. I switch to channels. And just like before, we're going to tell it that we need to save the selection as a channel. There is my alpha channel. If we view this from the wide view, you'll discover that the alpha channel contains all of the transparency. The finest level of blurring is preserved. The glows, the ramped transparency in the bar, the soft drop shadows. This technique just works. I've worked in Photoshop for many years. I've worked on many videos. I had to find a method that worked all of the time. This is the best method for storing transparency. It works every time.